Okay, so full fuse, usually it's going to be around your 1450 range. Every kiln is going to act different. You know, and as I said, I don't keep secrets from people, but I know once I had 4 of the tabletops, the hot boxes that Even Heat had, and it's stamped when they're made. 3 of them were made like on the 17th, 1 was made on the 18th, and it was the kind of thing where one would do a full fuse at 1450, the other one was doing it at around 1390. Just how it got hot, so it was just a hot kiln.
Yeah.
So, that's why I usually say everything is just a guideline. So you always need to experiment, and you're going to have hot spots, cold spots in the kiln as well. I know with ours that Mary had some pieces in there in the far back right corner. It didn't turn out as fused as what the other ones are. That when you look at the full fuse, it looks like it's one piece of glass. It doesn't have any gaps, dots, any little Morse code or anything into there, little openings on it. 90% of it fused up the way that it was supposed to. And that spot, 3 sides look good, 1 spot, it had some separation with it. So I figure that's a colder area. That's where, being that hotter colors absorb heat faster, we can put darker colors in that area and get the same results with them. That it's done at a lower temp, quote unquote. Okay. So that's where you're going to have a parameter on yours so you can see what that temperature is and what that fusing temperature, full fuse temperature would be for you. Full fuse is something where it's going to be totally flat, no bumps, no touchy-feely, no texture, any of that stuff. Okay, this one is more like a contour fuse that you can feel, because people like to touch the glass and look at it, bond with it, become part of it, so that would be done at a lower temperature. And this was a preset program.
Yep, yours.
Oh, okay. That's a good program.
It is?
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it took me a long time to figure that one out, man. But, and that's something where I'll try a temperature and I look and I see what the results are. If I'm happy with it, I'll try it again and see if I get the same results. If not, then I'll increase it maybe 1 or 2 degrees. I don't do a whole bunch. And that's why I have one program that goes to 1397. People, are you sure it's not 98 or 96? Yeah, I tried both of them. I like 97. It does what I want it to do, and it's worked consistently. So I use that. Did you see this?
I didn't. That's beautiful.
Oh, look.
Cute. If you try to do a full fuse and you find out that it didn't, it's got bumps or something, can you put it in?
You can
again?
fire it a second time.
Okay.
Yeah, and usually at that point, you're going to fire. I usually fire a little bit slower. Everything that I'm telling you is what I do. It's not chiseled in stone. It's not gospel truth. It just works for me. So that's what I try and tell you. It's worked for me. Oh no.
Oh, I break them all the time.
Oh man.
I buy them by the half dozens.
Good thing. Yeah, I got a case in the truck.
There's more.
So they just fuse the metal right into this?
Yeah.
What else can we put in the kiln? How do you know that you could put this in the kiln?
That's high temp wire. We sold it to them.
Oh.
I've never used it. I wanted to see what was going to happen. Thanks, man.
Frank, in the presets from Even Heat, it talks about a tack fuse and a laminate fuse and, what's the other one they call it? Fuse to stick. But they don't talk contour fuse, which...
Contour fuse, I think, is my word. Some people have that. Okay. Deb got the printed brochure from them.
Or you just bring it.
Did you get a cup cozy?
I
You did?
did.
And a sticker.
And
I got a
First thing I look
sticker.
for.
Yeah. I have
Oh,
a
wait,
sticker.
I did get a cup cozy. Yes, I did.
Oh.
That's the first thing they ask. You got to
Yes,
get
I
that
did.
sticker and a cup cozy. That's the most important thing. Okay, so they've got in here And it is, I go to this thing all the time when I want to experiment with programs. You know, that you try, their full fuse program, I love it, I use it. Their slumping program, I love it, I use it. That the laminating, it works, but I'd like to have a little bit more. This was a preset program, laminating, and it's almost where it's still a little bit sharp. You know, I mean, you're not gonna cut yourself and bleed, but you can
Like they're
still
laying on
feel.
top, aren't they?
Yeah, and I mean, that's why on the one side it's a double layer. It's got white on the bottom, clear on top. The other side is exposed white. And where I said that it likes to dog bone and get to the 3/16, it didn't change its shape at all because the temperature didn't get hot enough to do
You can
that.
actually see underneath the red right
Yeah.
now, through the red and black.
Yeah.
There's a gap in there.
Okay, so what do we have? Laminating, tack, fuse, fuse to stick, 90 COE. And that's, you know, they have those three words, laminating, tack, fuse, fuse to stick, all with the subheading. You know, so it's all the same thing. You know, so they're bringing it up to 1325 for 15 minutes. Okay, and that's where you know, it comes out of the kiln. I look at that, and if you look at the edges of the clear on top of the white, you can see that little Morse code dot 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 where it doesn't seal completely. You know, as I said, you know, that I look at that and I go, yeah, it stuck it together. It's better than gluing it, but you know, my personal taste is I like to have more of a melt to it, so that it looks a little bit more finished, you know, for me, you know, my thoughts, you know, of what I like to do with it. So they're taking it to 1325 for 15 minutes. At that point, it's a type of thing that, okay, well, let me try and take it to 1330 for 15 minutes. You know, increase it 5 degrees and see what happens with them. Yeah. So at that point, you take it out and you go, yeah, that's better, but I want a little bit more. It's almost there. It's like maybe 90% of the way. At that point, I wouldn't go another 5 degrees. I might go 2 degrees. And as opposed to 1330, put it at 1332. You know, and try that and see what happens with it. You know, and that's how you can figure out the programs that are going to be yours. You know, that's because you know people they bought the kilns. I write programs down for them that they've used in class and stuff, and they go, okay, I went home and I'm looking and it doesn't say Frank's fuse on there. It's not going to, you know, because it's my fuse. You know, no, even he didn't put in Frank's fuse. You know, so I mean,
They should.
no, but
And they didn't put in fire polish either.
Or Mary Snowflake.
Or snowflakes.
Snowflake A, Snowflake B, Snowflake C. You know, yeah.
Which one of Mary snowflakes?
Yeah. See, this is what we did when we started. We had 3-ring binders. We wrote stuff down. And you had to put a description, the colors, and you sketched something quickly, kind of showing where things were laid out. You know, because where you lay your glass out makes a big difference as well. You know, that when you have 2 pieces of glass, and then you put something decorative on top, put it in the middle, it'll be fine. Put something close to the edge, again, you got that volume factor where the weight of it is going to push things out and you're going to get a little bit of a bump because it wants to be that 3/16. So it goes along, it pushes out, and then it comes back in again. So you have to give yourself some space from the edge of the glass, you know, to where that accent piece is going to be. You know, unless you put it all over and you have that bump consistent all the way through, then it's art. You know, and it's a design aspect, and you did that on purpose. You know, that's where I did with this, the 2 layers of clear and then a 1/2-inch square in the middle, and it didn't do anything to distort the outside edge of it. You know, that it still kept the square shape. And that's one that you feel the one corner, it's a little bit sharper.
You just always you felt that.
Yeah, that's where it was in that right corner.
Oh, I just
You know.
didn't, yeah.
Just said one spot, you know, and that's when we discovered that the Mary stuff was in there. My stuff, fine. Mary stuff, oh God, no, we got to make that better. You know. So yeah, these are good things. They teach you a whole bunch. You know, it tells you the temperature, you know, that they're using to get those results. And then you can make the adjustments to it. You can personalize it. You can put your name in there that it's your fuse, your contour fuse, you know, your full fuse. You know, I've got a fuse where it's not total flat. It's more than my contour. You know, I like it. So it's Frank's fuse. You were asking earlier, Danny, about all these different speeds. Okay, that's where it's going to be the size of it. You know, that would determine whether you're going to go fast, slow, medium, extra slow. Extra slow, it's going to be going for a couple of days. You know, yeah, I've had people call and go, I think my kiln's broken. I have it on extra slow. It ain't broke. It's just slow. I started it yesterday and it's still running. It's going to. You know, and that's going to be more for doing something really thick, you know, so that that top layer of glass is cooling down the same rate as the middle layer, as the bottom layer. So it's giving it a whole bunch of time, you know, for all of that glass to cool down uniformly, you know, with each other, so it doesn't cause thermal shock on it. Yeah. Okay, so I usually use something like 8-inch diameter, you know, a 12-inch diameter, 16-inch diameter, you know, to tell me what speed I'm going to go. And you've been in, you've asked me questions, and I always say, okay, again, not chiseled in stone. It's, if you've got white and black, you know, black's going to absorb heat faster than the white, and you've got the two of them mixed together. You know, so, I mean, you're putting it at opposite extremes. You know, how many layers thick that it's going to be. The thicker that it is, the slower you have to go. Again, myself, I err on the side of caution. I don't care if I had an 18-inch, you know, bowl that I'm going to make, and I've got stuff here, over here, and then I put stuff in the middle, and then I put more stuff on the middle. I look and go, okay, fine, that's got 5 layers because it's got one piece. I treat the whole thing as a 5-layer thick piece of glass, you know, and I'll do it slow. You know, and very seldom do I have, you know, too many screw-ups from it, you know, just because it's giving everything a chance to heat up, you know. And that lets me work at lower temperatures because I stop along the way and I take time to heat it up. I'll hold it for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, depending on the size of it and the color of it and all of that kind of stuff. I bring it up again, I hold it at a temperature, you know, so that if I'm doing a slump, and that's what's in there. Want to peek inside and see your stuff?
Sure. No, it's not 100 degrees.
Yeah.
You were testing, weren't you?
Yeah. Yeah. I've been peeking at it all day. You know? It looks really good, you know, but no, I stop the glass along the way and I give the glass time to warm up. You know, so that, I know one of our friends in the Chicago area, we went out to dinner with him, and Mary wore a pendant on purpose. So that while we were eating dinner, he looks and he goes, oh, nice pendant, who made it? You know. So they look at each other and they smile, and she goes, Frank did, what was your program? And I told him, he goes, it doesn't work. She's wearing it, but it doesn't work. What was your schedule? You know, so I told him, he goes, well, that's why. You come up slow. You give the glass time to warm up. Yeah. You know, that he'll just crank it up, go to 1450. You know. How many breaks do you get? Doesn't matter. Yeah, it does. You know. But I mean, he's selling stuff, you know, at the art shows, pendants, things like that. If it breaks, he fire polishes it, you have art. You know, it's an organic shape. You know. But, yeah, as I said, I like to come up slowly, hold it along the way, so that it gives all of it time, and I'm willing to pay for an extra hour of electric.